You were tasked with remote viewing Mars, from what I understand. And the
Yeah.
time period, I believe, was 1 million BC.
It started out with a really large pyramid. This must be a new discovery. And he said, why do you say that? I said, because it's huge. So I finally said, it's like a special race of people or something. I'm getting humans just like we are.
You were tasked with remote viewing Mars, from what I understand. And the
Yeah.
time period, I believe, was 1 million BC.
Yeah, 1 million BC.
Who was that directed by?
Well, when it was tasked, I was sleeping in the industrial cube, the sealed cube in Bob Monroe's lab at the Monroe Institute, because we had been working on going out of body and controlling it. And I was exhausted. So we've been working. This was Sunday, I think. And he woke me up, and I said, yeah, I'm awake. What's going on? He said, well, I have some people here from Department of the Army, and they have a target for you. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, well, why don't he said, I have an envelope here. There's nothing written on it. It's in my pocket. Tell me something about it. So it started out with a really large pyramid. And I said, first thing, words out of my mouth was, this must be a new discovery. And he said, why do you say that? I said, because it's huge. It's bigger than the pyramid at Giza. Must be a new discovery somewhere. And then he said, well, tell me something about it. That's what I want to know. And so I said, it's got really large rooms inside. It's kind of surprising because the way pyramids are built, that can't be done. You can't have large rooms inside because of the weight of the construction. So it must be some new form of construction. So are you sure this is not a new discovery? And he said, just tell me what I need to know. So I said, well, it appears to be some form of protection of survivors of some cataclysm. And they're in stasis. They're waiting for somebody to come. I said, but I think it's too late. I think they're all dead. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, because I feel like the messages I'm getting are like leftover mental images, things that they pass differently from normal or something like that. So he asked me some other questions. He moved me around in the target and asked me some other questions and things. And it turned out there were 6 specific targets that I was given in that particular case. And all 6 of them I described exactly what was standing there. And when I say that, I mean what was also pictured in negatives by JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California. And so I finally said, it's like a special race of people or something. I'm getting humans just like we are, but I'm not so sure they're humans like we understand human, because they're way bigger. So what do you mean? I said they're like 10 feet tall, really huge, but they're proportionately the same and very human-like. So I don't know what's going on here. I said, and the sun looks really weird. And he said, I don't care about the sun. Tell me more what's on the ground. So he was being a pretty good monitor at the time. And so we basically finished the whole line of it. And I came out I said, what's going on? And I was introduced to these people, and the guy that had brought them was Fred Atwater, my old training officer. So this was, as far as I was concerned, was an active mission because we were still doing remote viewing with the project. And so I said, so where is this? Is this a new discovery or something? And he says, well, Bob's got the envelope. It has a target identified in it. And Bob, oh yeah, I got it right here. And he pulled it out of his shirt pocket and was opened it up as an envelope. Nothing written on it. And so we opened up the envelope, and inside it said Mars, 1 million years BC. And I said, wow. I mean, what are you going to say? But everything that's actually on the ground, I described. There is what I decided to do was the next time I was in California, I was going to go by JPL and get copies of the negatives because somebody said, oh, that's all BS. And I said, no, I think they're pictures, specific pictures for the different GPS locations. See, these were all GPSs that they read to me while I was in the box. The GPSs, in my mind, were for Earth. I never heard of GPSs for another planet. It turns out every planet in our universe has got GPSs that match the Earth's because they're all spherical, as well as the moons and everything else. So I didn't understand it to be off the Earth. I thought GPSs only worked on the Earth, so that's why I kept thinking it was a new discovery. But it turned out I went to JPL, and I walked up to the counter, and I had the actual card that had the GPSs written on it. 6 or 7 GPSs. I think there were 7, and I just didn't do the 7th because I was too tired. I worked on it for maybe an hour and a half, and I was tired anyway from working all day. So I walked up to the desk, and the guy said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I understand all the pictures taken in space belong to the American people. And he said, of course they do. It's taxes paid for them. I said, okay, I'd like to see all the pictures for these GPSs. And he took one look at the card and said, oh, that's the old city on Mars. And opened the drawer and pulled out a packet and handed it to me. And inside the packet are all the negatives. And I blew up the negatives, and guess what's in my book? Everything I described. An old fort, pyramids, big impact crater with a road running through it. There's a road runs straight as an arrow for 1,200 kilometers on Mars that go right through the heart of a huge impact crater.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.